You all know how much I've been loving my new LED mask, but I've been introduced to an exciting new gadget which will help you level up your skincare game, the Zip Halo. This device works differently to the LED mask. It uses microcurrent and nanocurrent technology, mimicking a face muscle workout that targets wrinkles, enhances plumpness, refines texture, and reveals a youthful radiance while promoting cellular growth and repair. After just 3 days, you'll notice a radiant glow, and in just 3 weeks, noticeably smoother, brighter skin. It's super easy to use, which makes it a perfect addition to your self-care routine. You simply connect to the app, and there are amazing treatment plans with easy-to-follow video tutorials that can cater to your every need. No need for needles, just embrace the glow and turn back the clock with Zip Halo. Head over to currentbody.com and use my discount code StyleDNA for 15% off your purchase. Today, I'm going on a sartorial journey with the English singer, songwriter, and TV personality, Wes Nelson. Hello and welcome, Wes.
Hello. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here because I know you've been a busy boy.
Very busy, yeah.
Collaborating with Craig David. Woo-hoo. Can we just talk about that for a moment?
Oh, we can happily talk about that.
I cannot get that song off my mind. I mean, I went to sleep with it in my mind.
It's like magic.
I love it.
Yeah, so I've just released a track with Craig David, which is literally my childhood idol. And I think as like a mixed race artist in the UK, for me growing up, looking for idols in the music scene, there's not many. There's not many at all that are in that sort of the singing area, not rapping or whatever. So Craig, growing up for me from the UK, was that guy.
So were you that high with a microphone?
Yeah.
Were you singing his songs?
Yeah, I've got pictures of it.
I saw one picture, which I just loved.
I've got a couple pictures of me when I was little. My mum and dad, they got me this karaoke that didn't even work. I think for their benefit, it didn't work at the time.
Well, they just turned the volume down.
Yeah, exactly. And I used to use that, and I'll be singing Craig songs, or I'll be singing different bits of R&B and stuff like that. So from an early age, it's been a big part of my life, I think.
And so how did that collab come about?
So it's a bit of a silly story, really. I was in Ibiza supporting Craig, and
that's quite a line in itself, can I just say?
Yeah, so he'd asked us to come out to Ibiza to support him, and I went out and did the show. He watched it, really enjoyed it, and we spoke after, and we was chatting about being in the studio and what we've got going on. And he said, "Oh, well, we need to jump in." And we were like, "Yeah, let's get a song going." And I was like, "I've actually already made a song for you, Craig."
Had you?
No.
God, I fell for that, didn't I?
No, but what I did know that it was to get my foot in the door early.
Yeah.
If I said, let's write something, blah, blah, blah. So I said, I've got the idea. And he's like, cool, let's do Tuesday. I was like, it's Sunday. So on the way home, I was writing away, wrote quite a bit of the song. Got in with Craig on Tuesday. We finished it all off together, wrote some nice pieces. He Craigified it. We made it into a bit more garage because it wasn't so garage before. And then Abracadabra, literally.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And went completely viral too.
Yeah, it went number one in Big Top 40, so that's my first ever number one. Oh. So I was ecstatic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Clean Bandit?
Yeah, so that's actually the highest streaming song I think we've ever done. Grammy winners, like it is bonkers when you think about it. And
it's exciting.
I know. I'm just a bloke from Stoke. I'll always just be a bloke from Stoke.
Oh, so I love that, a bloke from Stoke. So meet the bloke from Stoke.
Exactly. Wes Nelson, the bloke from Stoke. I feel like it's my new slogan.
You could have told me that when I read you the introduction.
The bloke from Stoke. Yeah. So that with Clean Bandit and Topic, Drive. That was one of my most favourite collabs, I think. That was a quick one as well. They actually asked me to get in the studio the next day. They called up and said, "We've got a song. Do you want to work on it?" I was like, "For sure." It's like, "Can you come tomorrow?" I was like, "Yes, I can."
Are you sort of permanently in creative mode?
Yeah, I think you can never not be creative. I think you're a creative yourself. Like you can be inspired by something here, or you can see something and it triggers 1,000 thoughts. So I guess that you can't really turn a switch off on that. And I think especially when I'm getting out and about more and actually leaving my studio, because I become such a hermit. I stay in my studio and I don't move.
But that's very true of a lot of creatives. You know, once you're in the zone, you don't actually want any distractions.
No, not at all. So, but when I do get out, I have to find a balance now. Just get out and about, get inspired, and come back in and usually make something a bit better.
And so tell me about the Clean Bandit at Wembley.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I think...
Moment.
Yeah. So it was quite bad, actually. So it was my first ever big show.
How many people?
I think 20,000. I think 20,000. And yeah, there's in-ears, there's called in-ear monitors, right? So that's playing your track. It's playing your voice back to yourself.
Yeah.
And it stops all the echo in the crowd. So say if you're the crowd shouting or the room's really big, if I project my voice, it'll take a couple seconds for that to come back. So if you're singing on stage and your in-ears go out, or you haven't got wedges at the front which give you playback, you will be singing off time.
Oof. I'm feeling stressed already.
And I got on stage and it's coming up to a massive high note that I have in the second half of it. And then I hear a boom.
No.
Like quite a loud bang. And I turned around to the guys, and luckily it was like sort of a bit of instrumental, like 10 seconds instrumental. I turned to the guys. They were all like fiddling with their ears. They were like, I don't know. I don't know. What had happened is the antenna or something that services all of our earpieces blew, finished, and the backup finished. So we couldn't hear anything, just the music coming out from the bouncing off the back of the stadium coming back.
Which is too late then.
Which is too late. So what I did do is looked at the front row, and there's people clapping. So we started doing this.
God.
And I used them as my metronome.
Wow.
So I was kept on going like this, and then Grace and they all kept, like they clocked on. And we were going like this, and we finished the song. But it was luckily it was only one song that I had to do for that. Whoa. But that was scary. It was the scariest moment of my life.
Super stressful. Any other new music coming out?
Yes. So we're actually working on my next single right now. We're just finalising the feature. I can't say who the feature is yet, but
so you're collaborating.
It's a collab again, yeah.
Amazing.
Which is fun. I love collabing on music, and I think, don't get me wrong, I love writing by myself and this, that, and the other, but to collab with other people and get their sort of creative point of view and then make a whole different song is amazing. And the people that we're going to be doing this with now, I've loved them for ages, so it's really cool to. It's like the Craig sort of thing.
Yeah.
A kind of different world to me, but it's exciting. It's exciting.
Wow. Who would be your dream fashion collaboration?
Probably what I'm wearing, Izzy.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just think, well, I'm now going into, it's actually funny that this has come around now. I feel like I'm going into my new style era.
Oh, right. Okay. We're going to get onto that.
I feel like I am.
In a second.
Yeah.
So you're wearing Izzy today.
Yeah, Izzy Miyake, yeah.
And do you reach for Izzy a lot?
I do. I just like, I feel like I'm a bit plain sometimes. Well, I'm not, and I am. It's weird. I can be wearing the most bright, patterned, wild combination you'd ever did see, and then the next day I'll just be in plain. And I just go through these phases. I think it depends on how I'm feeling in the day. It's not really, I wouldn't say, oh, this is my style and this is what I wear and I build everything around it. It's like, I wake up in the morning, I'm a very spontaneous guy.
So you're a mood dresser?
Yeah. So I'll be like, I fancy that today. If I want to wear a bright pink hat with some big blue boots, I'll wear the big blue boots and the pink hat.
But you grew up in Staffordshire.
I did, yeah.
Were you exposed to fashion from a young age? You know, did you have a dapper dad?
Oh, my dad loved it, actually. My dad always used to wear, this is so straight, used to wear Paul Smith every single day.
Super chic.
He just loved Paul Smith. Like, he used to see the zebra patterns.
What did he do to be wearing Paul Smith?
So my dad
So he was wearing that to work?
No, he'd wear a suit to work, but any opportunity to wear Paul Smith, he'd wear Paul Smith. He was a mechanical engineer, so he worked at Bentley for years.
Oh, wow.
But
so hence Staffordshire.
Yeah, literally in Crewe.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to follow his footsteps at first. So.
Well, I was going to say, I did read somewhere that you were a nuclear systems design engineer.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. So I was doing uni at the same time, so it was part on, part off. But 4 days of the week I'd be working. Yeah.
And
so
what
I
were
wanted
you-
to do engineering. I wanted to do mechanical engineering with my
Yeah.
father, like Bentley or whatever. Jag Land Rover is really
Yeah.
close. There's quite a lot of companies.
Yes, there are.
In the Midlands there. But then that sounds way cooler, doesn't it?
And then what were you wearing back then in your nuclear systems design engineer days?
It was a suit. It was a suit every day.
But what was your earliest sartorial memory? When did you first
I
realize?
loved wearing a suit to work, though.
Did you?
I did.
Would you say that was when you first realized the power of clothes?
Because I was like 18, 19, walking around town and whatever, walking back into the shops and stuff with a suit on, or finishing work, and some of my friends would still be like in the trackies from uni and whatever, and they'd be like, fair enough, that's a nice suit. And I feel like it carries it.
Yeah.
You carry yourself different. You stand up a little bit taller, your chest's out a little bit further.
The power of good tailoring is enormous.
My dad made sure that it was, he was just like, you're getting it tailored. I was like, I'm not paying for it. You can.
You've got an older brother, Curtis, who's a footballer.
Yes, he is, yeah.
Were you close as kids?
Very, 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 very close. I'd say I think he's my best pal, like in the world, like my brother, and he's my biggest inspiration as well.
Oh, that's lovely.
So he's actually had the best year of his life. Let me just give him this flowers.
Come on, plug
he's
for
had the
Curtis.
best year of his life. He's just had a little one, and he's won Players Player. He's won a whole bunch of different players awards. He's just got his first ever promotion to the championship, and he's had a great season. He's the only outfield player to play every second of every game this year. The reason I'm so inspired by him is because the amount of work people don't realise that footballers have to do behind the scenes. And I know it looks great from the surface, especially Prem, but when you're in them lower leagues and it's championship,
phenomenal, isn't it?
there's so much work. He never drinks, he doesn't go out, he's at Christmas days on his own. He's left the house at 16.
Yeah.
So he's my biggest inspiration.
But it's
very close.
full on 24/7 focus.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Because there's another 10 people that want your place as well.
Yeah. Did you have a sort of opinions on each other's style growing up?
Yeah, I was always way better dressed.
And you're not competitive at all?
Not at all. Now, he'd tell you that. He's asked me for some tips. He's like, oh, what do you think of this? I'm like, yeah, it's all right, mate. It's all right. You should, maybe that. And he'd be like, all right, fair enough. There's some things that I would wear that he would not wear.
So were you the style leader?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more daring with what I wear. He's a lot less daring with what he'd wear, yeah.
Now, you shot to fame also when you appeared on the 4th series of Love Island. How did that opportunity come about?
I was 19 and I just got a message on Instagram from actually a manager. And he said, you ever thought about going on Love Island? I was like, not really, geez. No, not really. Just got my job and I'm feeling like great. He was like, would you ever fancy it? And I was just like, well, you know what? I've just had my work holidays have just refreshed. Let's give it a whirl. So I went down, had a couple interviews, 5 or 6 interviews. And then they said, do you fancy flying out in summer? Like you've got the gig. I was like, give it a whirl, told work. That was a funny conversation. I was just like,
so what, you go from design engineer to Love Island?
It was so random. I was just like, I might be missing for a couple of weeks on telly, but you've got to keep it private, blah, 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 blah. It's like, fair enough, cool. But I think it was a weird comment. I was doing that and I was doing Muay Thai, kickboxing and stuff like that. So I think they was watching from the outside thinking, who's this guy? He does nuclear engineering and kickboxing and football and it's
and
just
actually could be on Love Island.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how that happened. Very weird.
How did you prepare? Listen, I know you don't wear a lot on Love Island. Like there's a lot of board shorts.
There's not much.
How did you decide what you were going to take to wear on Love Island?
So at the time, I'm from Stoke. There's not a lot of sun.
I'm from Cheshire. There's not a lot of sun.
I'm Stoke-on-Trent. There's really not a lot of sun. So everything I had pretty much at the time, I can remember running around trying to find just T-shirts, and you can't wear logos, so you have to buy plain T-shirts.
Yeah.
So I was like, all of the things that because at that point I was starting to actually get a bit more money, so I was buying some designer stuff. I was like, yeah, come on, I'm gonna take all of this. Open my suitcase. They were like, no. I was like, oh my god, I have nothing left.
Whoa.
And then they have their own sponsors, so
Yep.
you sort of everyone just scrambles to try and find the best bits from
Do
whatever.
they literally just
They drop a
open up?
big bag in,
Oh no!
and just like let everyone run at it like hyenas and rip it all up. It's bad. It's bad.
Oh, but coming back to performing,
Yeah.
what do you most enjoy wearing to perform in? Do you have a sort of performance uniform, as it were?
Yes, but I think it's gonna change now.
So what was it?
So when I first started, I'm gonna have to give a bit back
Yeah.
in. So when I first started doing music, the debut single was called "See Nobody," and it was with a rapper called Hardy Caprio, and then after that, it was Nice to Meet You with Young Bane, who's another rapper. So I was around a lot of rappers, and they all wear chains, and they all have
I was going to say there's a lot of
like
jewellery,
they all wear
isn't there?
chains and bust down massive watches and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, I can't be in the music video and not have some of this.
Right.
So foolishly went out and bought the diamond watch, bought this, bought that, bought quite a bunch of stuff. And
Like what? Like what watch?
so it was an Audemars Piguet
Just a sort of understated little
No.
diamond watch.
bright blue strap
Wow.
with diamonds, yellow
Yep.
gold, just ridiculous. It was so silly. It was so silly. But it looked great on camera. I can't
Yep.
some of these things I do regret in hindsight. I'm like, oh, it's stupid, daft. But I feel like I had to go through that phase.
So you were dressing the part.
I was dressing a bit like what you'd call a rapper.
Yeah.
Like I was dressing like the stereotypical rapper. So there'd be huge logos like big LV and a big this and big that, and that was the style. I think I wore the Nigo LV collab. It was like double denim,
Yes.
LV print all over it. That was my first music video, and then I think second, pretty much the exact same. I think a lot of my stage outfits at the time sort of reflected that as well. So I'd be wearing a lot of big designers with huge brands, this, that, and the other.
And were you being gifted any of that?
Hell no. It was ridiculous.
Okay, so quite
my dad.
a big costume budget.
Yeah. So what would happen was
You
we'd
spend
get
all the proceeds.
I spent more on clothes than I'd even like to disclose. There was a 2-year period where it was silly. Like it was ridiculous. My dad, he was just like, you need to stop doing this.
Now, were you doing that because you felt you needed to look the part, or were you doing it because you could and you were just loving it?
I think I was a bit young. I was just young and I was just like, I think it was when they'd prepare a rail or something like that. And it would be that I'd say, oh, I'd like this, and they'd prepare a rail for the shoot or whatever, and then I'd really like it all, and they'd be like, "Can I have it all?" And they're like, "Yes, you can. Here's the invoice."
Here's the bill.
And then and then I pay it. And I have a personal shopper at the time that would just send things out, and if I didn't like it, then I'd just send it back. Ask me how many I've sent back. 0. So that had to stop. Because it's just, don't get me wrong, it's cool and it looked great on the videos and it sort of fit the music that I was doing then. But my music's changing a bit now. I'm moving way more pop.
Right.
And it's a bit more true to myself, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I don't know why people, sometimes, I think on the first single, I was a bit of melodic rap. But other than that, every single song I've ever done has been singing.
Yeah.
But then people still describe me as a rapper, which is...
It's funny how
Is bonkers.
Early days you can get labelled, and in the fashion industry it's
Exactly.
the same, and it's
But it's-
really hard evolving out of it.
Literally. But I think just more plain stuff. I think on my last tour, it was baking hot at all times on stage, and I really move around on stage, and especially with the set we was doing then was jumping around. So it would start in these huge parachute sort of trousers, big baggy Balenciaga trousers, and then I'd have a vest on and then some sort of overshirt. And then after song 2, I'm absolutely baking. So that'd come off and it would be the vest and the massive cargos. It looked like huge dino stompers, and it was cool though. I really liked it. It was cool. But this time around, I think I'm moving a little less. We're gonna have a band and stuff on stage for my tour. So I can dress a little
Are you able to influence what the band wears?
Yeah, to a degree, but I want them to express themselves. Like I think, like my friend Nate Notes, guitarist, pianist, all in general, like magician. He loves purple. He loves purple. So I'm never going to go to Nate. Just wear black.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Yeah. I think they're all stars in their own. Everyone on the stage is a star in their own right, and he's an absolute superstar. So if Nate wants to wear all purple.
Yeah.
Nate Notes, you can wear purple.
And you're going to be wearing what, do you think?
I'm actually doing I'm doing a meeting next week on styling.
So is that with a stylist?
Yeah.
And so is this a stylist you've worked with before?
It's not. I've known her work for a minute. I know a couple of people that have worked with her.
And have you briefed her as to where your head's at the moment?
Yeah, I have. A little more classy.
I was going to say, do you mind me asking what your brief to her was?
Do you know the artist called Giveon?
Yep.
You know, when he's on stage and he has his nice like crop sleeve shirt, tucked into his trousers and the fold over sort of waistband.
Yeah.
That kind of sleek with the little pleats at the top sometimes maybe.
Wow, that is a big move on from the...
I really like dressing like that though. So if I go out for a meal with the missus or whatever, that's kind of what I'm wearing. It's only really on stage or in certain places, in certain environments that I'll wear.
And so the favourite brands for that look would be?
Dior is the last place. Nearly all my suits and stuff is from Dior or Prada.
Beautifully tailored.
They just fit me well. I think I've got a weird shaped leg, so they always fit.
Have you ever had a suit made for you on Savile Row?
I don't know. I think I've always just bought them. I'll just get them from my personal shopper, and then just get them tailored.
And personal shopper is within a big store?
Yeah, she's actually just left. She's been there for 25 years in Selfridges.
I knew you were going to say Selfridges.
Yeah. Do you know Debbie?
I've heard of her. Yeah. But can she continue with you?
Yeah, I spoke to her today.
Oh,
I'm going to Selfridges after you. I'm not. So there's Annie who works in there now. She's going to sort me out. She's got a room set up for me actually after this.
Brilliant.
Which is cool.
Oh my God! Can we just take the camera on there?
We can all go. I was actually going to go before, but I didn't have a chance. Because I was getting my hair done. But
can we just talk about the hair for a moment?
That's new as well. So I've always had just straight 1.5 on top and like skin faded up.
Yeah.
Now I've got like what's-its in my hair, but I'm just growing it out. So basically, the way I do it is, if I comb it out, it's like a microphone.
Yeah.
And then I have a sponge. It's got little holes in it.
Yeah.
And you just go like this.
Oh wow! And then that.
Yeah. So it
sort of
helps
tweezels
them twist. Yeah, it twizzles them.
Fantastic.
It's cool.
But then this.
Yeah. No, he's just shaped it up today. So
how often do you have to have that
I can do it myself. But when he does it, it's like
God, you wouldn't want to have a hangover, would you, doing that?
Pythagoras theorem. I think he did. I was just like, are you sure you got this? But no, he's really good. His name's Eli. He's a great barber.
And are you into your grooming, your men's facial products?
My girlfriend's trying to help me out with this because I just splash water on my face and just a bit of soap in the shower.
And what's she been...
Well, I've
handing
just
your
got
way.
some. Is it called Laura Mercier?
Oh my goodness!
Is that right?
Yeah.
Pink pot of moisturizer.
Yeah. Use it, judiciously.
I know.
She's been very
Look at
generous.
My hands, like I just glue pin. I call it petit filou because it just smells great. But no, she's told me to get that. I've got that. It's in there. I am listening. But I think my skin's usually been all right. Like most of the time. I try and stay on top. My beard's not. I've not got a great beard, so it's I don't have to stay on top of that. If the wind blows, it'll shave it itself. So it's that's fine.
Talk to me about your tats for a minute.
Right. So
when did you first start? How old were you?
I think it was a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh, so really recently?
Yeah, I think we're at 2 years ago.
Very first one.
Across my fingers.
When was your first one?
I think, so 2 years ago, I got my parents' birth dates across, and my brother's, my faith. The only 3 weapons that I need in my life, which is Alfred Curtis Pauly, which is my mum, dad, and my brother. They all have a lot of meaning. My first independent single, blah, blah, blah.
Can you tell me about the skeleton?
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, Until I Die. He's got a little microphone in his hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And then what does that say? Island?
I stand on everything I say. And then this is, I can't tell you about this one because it's about the missus.
Right.
Well, it's where I met the missus, but it's and whatever. But I'm trying to keep the missus thing hush.
Okay. Because Mrs. isn't public knowledge.
They don't know who she is, but
Right.
yeah.
But that's all.
I actually got my first playful one the other day, and it's a Sunny D, Sunny D orange bottle, and the reason being is because when I used to go to my granddad's house, on my father's side, he used to always have Sunny D in the fridge, and obviously it was just full of rubbish, so I was never allowed it at home. So
But now you've got it tattooed onto you.
So I was like, what's a playful way of remembering my granddad? Instead of just putting a date, so I was just like, Sunny D. As soon as I go to my granddad's, I'd run to the fridge and like, get the Sunny D.
Oh, that's
lovely. So I got the Sunny D.
So you're on a journey with the tats.
Yeah, so it's not like, I don't want to just fill spots. I want to, absolutely everything has a lot of, some that I can't really say, but.
Yeah. So the missus, it's a serious thing?
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't, I think.
Wedding bells?
Not yet.
But if you were going to get married this year, what would you want to wear to your wedding?
I'm a classic man, I think, with weddings. I don't actually want a big wedding.
But what would you want to wear?
Black suit, straight tux. I think it would be quite a boring
And who
suit.
would cut that?
I don't know, but you could recommend me someone if you.
Oh, come on! You're wearing Dior and Prada
I think
already.
Prada. My favorite suit is Prada. The Prada one that I have. It has like sort of this. Has a strap sort of buckle that goes across the front. Did you know the one? And it has
they cut
tassel.
Beautiful suits.
But that is my favorite suit.
Yeah.
It just fits so well. When I took the missus to Paris, and wore it to the Moulin Rouge, and it was.
Just felt really good in it.
It felt good. It felt really good. I don't want to take it off. I'll be real. It's one of them suit jackets as well as that. Even when you're inside, I was like, I don't really want to take this off. So I'm just gonna.
But isn't that great?
Yeah, it is. It is. It does. It
fundamentally, who do you think you dress for? Yourself, your missus, your audience?
Well, that's a great question, because I think that's changed a bit more, and I think it links to what I was saying earlier. Before it was the audience.
Yeah.
Straight away. I think that's just going into a bit of money and then thinking I need to be someone for them, or I was looking at everyone else and comparing and then saying I need to dress like that.
Yeah.
That's not really my style then, is it? It's just a shelf, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone can get that style. It's not like it's a style. So I think now I'm dressing for me.
Yeah.
A lot more. And especially with this meeting now that we're about to do, I've put quite a bit of thought into what I want. And I think that's really where it's going to be at the turning point. In my head, it's the turning point already, but the wardrobe's going to be taken out and I'm just going to put a whole new thing in.
And what will you do with that lot that's been taken out?
See what the old man wants, see what the brother wants, and the rest of it can go somewhere.
And you don't archive anything, like what you
Yes.
wore
So
on
I've
stage?
got a couple of things. So there's a couple. There's like the Nigo LV stuff that stays. That has to stay. There's these massive baggy sort of trousers and braces that I wore for the Nice to Meet You music video where I was at Edward Scissorhands. All of them things. I wore some pineapple trousers things with a clean bandit.
You must archive those.
Yeah,
surely.
all of them are in a box.
Yeah.
So I don't really wear them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might wear them, but they're staying forever. They will stay forever.
Would you say you've got a style icon?
I think it changes for me.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, because I think at one point I loved the way that Chris Brown dressed. I really loved it. And now I really like the way Giveon dresses. And I think it looks really, really cool. But I don't want to copy a style though.
No, you want to create your
I really
own.
I want to have my own sort of style without looking ridiculous.
If someone were to describe, the missus were to describe your style in 3 words, what 3 words would those be?
When I'm usually with the missus, we don't, because we can't low key with where we go and whatever.
Is this because it's a deep secret?
Yeah, I just don't want to. I don't want to have a public relationship.
Yeah.
I've done it. doesn't work for me.
I've clearly done it.
Yeah, done a couple. And look where they ended. So like, and she's an absolute star. So I just want to keep this as private as can be. And don't get me wrong, like, there was going to be times when we're seen out about or whatever, but that's fine. But I'm not going to go out of my way to make that known. But she would probably say comfortable for sure.
Yeah.
Because comfort's key for me at the moment. Especially if we're going like a park walk or we're going here or I'm in the house, I'll be in either some jogger shorts or the baggiest joggers. She calls them the Jesus joggers because they are so big, brown, baggy things, but they're the comfiest things you've ever seen. I'll have my Birkies on underneath.
Which Birkies?
So I've got the mocha straps and then the grey ones and the black ones. But I love Birkies. And I've got the closed toes as well.
Yeah, these are cozy.
Yeah. They're the coziest things. I don't... If this wasn't in a nice like a podcast or whatever and was just going to the studio, I would be in my Birkies right now.
Right.
Because that is my shoe.
So we've got comfortable.
Comfortable, bright, I'd say, actually. If you look in my wardrobe, at first it used to be monochrome. Now you look at it and it is like a rainbow.
Yeah.
A bit random. Does random make sense? There's a better word for random.
Eclectic?
Yes, eclectic. Because the way that I combine some things is red card.
I think you're struggling with this because you're evolving your style as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I could have described it before so easy, like monochrome, ostentatious labels or whatever. Like that was, but now I actually don't really, because I've not got that wardrobe yet.
Yeah. No, I'm fascinated to see Wes in 3 months' time. Yeah.
We'll
do episode 2.
I'm gonna update you, but eclectic because I think right now I went through a stage of like I really just didn't care what I wore. And I think I was actually going a bit mentally. I was struggling a little bit as well, so I think I threw on whatever.
Yeah.
Then got used to wearing whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm in such a great headspace now. So now I'm like trying to take a bit more pride in it. I think it makes a difference.
Would you say your physique has always been part of your identity?
It was, I think. Then started eating a lot more. I always used to be shredded and I could eat whatever, whenever, and I wouldn't put on weight. And don't get me wrong, my physics, I'm in a decent nick. Like I'm just a little fluffy. just haven't. I think literally I had since I was like 3. I used to have an 8-pack, and people were like, "What? You have an 8-pack? That's not even a 6-pack. That's nuts." But I was like, "I'm the guy." Then came pizza, and then then came a lot of food. Just from being yeah, that too. just being in the studio all the time, not moving around. And I used to play sports all the time. I used to fight, obviously, and this, that, and the other. So I have got a membership now at the gym, which me and my missus have promised each other I'm going to do the London Marathon next year. So
wow.
So I've got to get in good nick, can I, for that?
And what's your sports kit going to be?
Nike. I just wear Nike.
Do you? I was going to ask you, in terms of sneakers, are you...
I have these Alpha Flies. I like technology. I'm a bit of a geek with things, and these Alpha Flies.
Well, that's your engineering.
Yeah, they have like the carbon plates in them, and apparently they make you a kangaroo and stuff. So
yeah, make you run really fast.
Yeah, make you run really quick.
Yeah.
But you know what's happening now? Actually, I've started playing golf, and I love
very
golf.
Grown up.
I love golf fashion.
I was going to say, what do you...
It's maybe this is where it's taking me.
Well, even the polo type sort of Miyake top is sort of slightly golfy.
The golf attire is my new favourite thing. It's my new favourite thing. I'd wear it out.
Okay. So we're going to see you in Argyle sweaters?
You could. I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got one. But also, so I looked at the retro golf stuff. I really like that as well.
The retro golf stuff is quite cool.
Like the baggier stuff, with the baggier pants and stuff.
And the old golfing shoes.
Yeah. I've got the old ones and I've got the new ones. And did I look a bit weird when I went to this comp the other day wearing the retro stuff? Yeah, but it was really cool. It looked really cool. Yeah. Like when I was stood there on the first tee and I saw everyone in like really tight, whatever, I was just like... I'm comfy. And I won the comp, so it's probably because I was comfy.
Now, talking fitness, you did Dancing on Ice.
Yeah.
How did you feel in the lycra costumes?
So if I could describe that, sequins, a lot of sequins.
And a lot of lycra.
And a lot of lycra. I just threw myself into it. I think after the first day, I saw the rail. He said, these are your options. I was like, right, I get it.
Nervous giggle.
It was like, there's nothing I can do here. Yeah. Every single one of them is the same. And you look like a bit of a can I say knob?
You can say knob.
You look like
I've just
a bit, said it. you look like a bit of a knob, not wearing, trying to look too cool.
Yeah.
You're on Dancing on Ice.
Yeah.
You're ice dancing. Wear sequins.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
So I was dressed as Peter Pan at one point. Peter flipping Pan. And I did the headbanger. So.
Oh my goodness.
No, I loved it. I actually enjoyed it.
Do you have one item of clothing that means the most to you?
I have this vintage Gucci suit. Is it Tom Ford did?
Tom Ford for Gucci.
Yeah, and it is Tom Ford Gucci. It has like these G's, like the sort of blocky G's all over it.
Yeah.
And that's the first nice, like designer sort of suit that I've ever bought. That was it still fits now, which is cool. In that, every time I put that on, I feel $1 million.
What colour?
It's like grey brown. It's weird.
Yeah.
Some lights it looks a bit brown, but in sort of like the dark it looks grey.
Yeah.
But that's the first quite expensive thing that I bought, I think, ever.
Did you
and
buy
I think I bought it, and when I got home, I was like, I've made it.
I was going to say, did you buy it as a reward?
It was after a shoot, and I saw it, and I was just like, I don't even want to wear it for the shoot. I want to keep it. Like, I just want it.
And did you wear it for the shoot?
No.
It was just like,
that's mine. I don't know what I wanted to do with it. I just wanted it.
Do you look after your clothes really well?
No.
Wes?
No, sorry.
You've got all these gorgeous things.
Yeah, it's bad. No, so I lose a lot of things.
How?
I don't know. Honestly, if I knew how, I'd put a stop to it. I'd put a plug in it. So this is another thing. I felt like I didn't deserve them clothes because the way I was, if I'm going out and there's drinks and I'd have like a cranberry stain here and it was bad. And I have no excuse. It was just bad, but it was just being reckless. And I think because I was young and it was just doing silly things. And although I was wearing nice things, I didn't want to just stand on eggshells and whatever. I wanted to have a good night, or I wanted to go, and if I wanted to jump over that bollard, you go jump over the bollard, even if the trousers rip. I have this real belief in don't save your best. No, you can't.
You've got to wear your best.
So I had these the LV Air Forces.
Yeah.
You remember they came out?
Yeah, lovely.
And they was, I think at one point they were selling for like 25k. But I didn't get them for that. There was way less.
Yeah.
I got them for retail, like normal.
That was the resale.
Yeah. But resell, they were going for like 25 grand. And I think the first night they got cranberry all over them.
Oh, ouch.
And everyone was like, you're an idiot. You should never have worn them. It's like, well, first of all, I didn't spill the drink. Second of all, it's cranberry. It'll come out. And it did.
Don't tell me you put those in the wash.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't put them. I went to a shoe doctor and he cleaned them and made them nice. But there's like a couple of things. I think in the Nice to Meet You music video, I wore the Dior Jordans when they came out. We had like loads of them in the fridge.
In the fridge?
Yeah, in this fridge.
What do you mean in the fridge?
Because when it said stepped in, froze, freezer,
right.
and then he opens the freezer and there's loads of these Dior Jordans in.
Okay.
It was ridiculous.
Okay. I was beginning to say, why were the sneakers in the fridge? Let's talk about travel for a moment. As a well-known face, are you very aware of your airport look?
Berkeys, big joggers, the Jesus joggers will come with me. And a massive baggy top. I just get warm on planes.
And favourite luggage?
Rimowa. I have Rimowas because I can ride them.
What colour?
Silver. Yeah, I got the silver ones. I got the big one and the small one. And wherever we go when we're on tour and whatever, one of the boys will sit on the bigger one. I like the smaller one because it's more nimble. And we race. We race. Yeah, we
through
race
the airport.
Yeah, so in certain airports, especially, I think it's Gatwick.
Oh God, where they have the ramp.
When it's the ramp, you can get some real speed down there. Malaga Airport, when you get out of that one, really good ramp there.
Oh my
it's
God.
so silly that I know all the ramps because I ride my suitcase.
Such a new one for Ramoa. I mean, that is just brilliant.
Yeah, Ramon, if you're listening to this, get me some new wheels. We need to take it in
You
for a
need
service.
them.
We need to take it in for a service. Grease them up.
You'll end up with being sent to Ramoa with sort of tractor trucks and
Off-road tyres so I can ride it outside. It's more difficult on tarmac, but through airports, bellissimo.
Oh my God. Are you a good packer or a bad packer?
My missus would say a bad packer. I'd say I'm an efficient packer.
Okay, but do you lay your clothes out beautifully with tissue paper or...
Whoa. Do you do that?
No, I don't.
Do people do that?
I think some people do.
With tissue paper?
Yeah, I just lay a plastic laundry bag down and I roll everything all together and nothing gets creased. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I hear that, but I'm always gonna steam it as soon as I get out.
Exactly.
Anyway, so then it doesn't matter if it's creased.
Would you say you've got anything in particular in excess in your wardrobe, or is that
Shoes.
everything?
Shoes
Shoes.
and t-shirts a
So
lot.
how many pairs of shoes? Including sneakers and Birks?
More than 100. More than 100. In my house here and up north, more than 100. T-shirts. So I have 4 rails. So I have my dressing room upstairs. There's 4 rails of t-shirts, but then there's...
Are they hanging?
Yeah, they're hanging.
So you can see them clearly?
All colours, yeah. So I have white, black, and then colours.
So you're pretty organised.
Yeah, but then it can so quickly get destroyed. I can't tell you how quickly, because when usually if I'm in a rush, I'm like, and then it's a long process of putting it all back on. So that's some people have walked into my room, especially when it's tour time, and I've been come back for like an hour or something, and I've left something somewhere. They'll look in my wardrobe and they'll be like, "What the hell is happening?" It's like,
The poltergeist
honestly,
has been...
I don't know. An absolute nutter came in because he couldn't find a purple T-shirt. I don't know.
Don't know where he is.
Don't know where he's gone. He always jumps out.
Guilty secret. Most expensive item of clothing you've ever bought. Don't have to give me the price tag. You're wincing.
Yeah, there was one that was, I wouldn't say it's the most expensive. No, that's not jewellery, right? No, this is... Can I say the one that's the most ridiculous for what it was?
Yeah.
There's this hockey shirt from Chrome Hearts.
But out of interest, do you keep annual accounts for your clothing?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I guess you can deduct that.
My dad keeps annual accounts. He saw it.
Good on you, Dad.
It was supposed to be for a music video with French Montana in New York. So we flew out, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Send that with me. Send it. All got sent." And then I forgot my chain, actually. The one time that I needed the chain, because it's French Montana, and he has thousands of chains. And
you didn't go out?
No, and I actually went to Chrome and bought these 2 tiny little things just to have something there. But I also bought that top, and that was the one time at the till I was just like, what have I done that for?
Did you feel too embarrassed to...
No, I was like, I'm gonna wear it.
You're gonna have it.
I wanted it because it fit the outfit so
Yeah.
well. I was like, that was a bad idea. For what it was, like, I've spent that on jackets or something that I'm gonna wear again and again. But when that one, I was like, it's just a t-shirt, and it really...
Oh, ouch.
Is a
I mean,
t-shirt.
you clearly travel a lot.
Yeah.
And love fashion. Is there any destination you've been to that sort of has surprised you by the local fashion that you've just
Paris.
loved?
I love the way everyone dresses in Paris. It's just chic.
Yeah. Oh, I can feel a whole new era of chicness coming on.
Can you feel it in your
I
butt?
can.
Are you excited for me?
I'm really excited for you. I think we're going to have a whole different conversation in about 12 months' time.
Yeah, because like when you're talking about some like what are the brands, I'm like, I don't know yet. I don't know what
but
my
that's
favourite ones because
exciting.
I haven't tried them all.
Do you ever buy vintage?
Yeah. So I actually bought a lot of vintage stuff before I went on telly and stuff. I was obsessed with this shop in Stoke, and I used to go in and just buy loads of. At the time, the thing was like Ralphie t-shirts, like the big, massive, puffy Ralphie t-shirts.
Yeah.
There's this one that I had, this green greeny/teal weird colour. But I used to wear that far too much. But vintage stuff. I've actually started buying more vintage stuff now because of golf.
And where do you go to? Favourite haunts?
So there's this guy who plugs me on Instagram, and he I don't know where I don't even know where he gets them from, but he just sends them. And I was just like, he sends like football boots, he sends golf stuff, like all vintage sports gear he can get his hands on.
Brilliant.
So yeah, he sends it through to me, but yeah, cool.
Okay, some quick fire questions. What fashion advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Don't buy that.
Which fashion trend would you most like to see make a comeback?
Big flares. You're going to see them on stage.
I think I am.
Shoulder pads.
What fashion or beauty trend would you consign to Room 101? Room 101 is where you bin things.
Which trend?
Yeah. Skinny
jeans. Like spray-ons.
Oh, yeah. Your last impulse buy?
Oh, probably this morning. A vintage golf jacket, but I saw it and it had to be bought.
Your views on tattoos?
Hate them.
Beauty or well-being treatment you couldn't give up? Could be your hair. It could be your hair too.
It could be the hair, couldn't it? Yeah, my hair sponge.
High end or high street?
High end.
Yeah. Crocs, cute or puke?
Cute. I haven't got a pair, but they're all right.
Sambas or gazelles?
Gazelles.
Cargos or chinos?
Also, the Crocs look you gave me then was mental. You're like, wow. Respect gone. I haven't got a pair of Crocs. I'm a Berkey boy, but I don't mind them.
Okay, I'll give you that. Cargos or chinos?
Cargos.
Sports luxe or rock and roll?
It could be chinos next, though.
It could. Do you know what? I think it's about to be chinos.
To be chinos, yeah.
Sports luxe or rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
Savile Row or Gorp Cool?
Savile Row.
Double-breasted, single-breasted?
Single.
Trend or style?
Style.
Colour or monochrome?
Colour.
Pattern or plain?
Plain. Let's go plain.
In transition, I would say.
Yeah.
Hoarder or editor?
Hoarder.
Charity shop or resale?
Charity shop.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Budgie smugglers or board shorts?
Board shorts.
Budgie smugglers or board shorts?
Board shorts.
Beanie or baseball cap?
Baseball cap.
And finally, at the end of the day, what do you or don't you wear in bed?
I don't wear anything in bed.
Wes, this has been so much fun. Thank you.
Was that all right?
You've been a brilliant guest.
Right,
I've had such a laugh. I really have.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Loved it. I've really loved it.